Okay, my new lead for the microphone has turned up a day early. We like that sort of thing. So this in theory is the final piece for the home studio bit, is a microphone that actually works. So I thought we'd set that up, and I love this little stand. It's really feeble, quite honestly, but it does the job. I don't know, it's only got to hold the microphone up in the air to save you holding it in your hand. Right, so that goes in there. Ooh, that goes in. Oh, hang on, there's a front and a back to this, isn't there? That's the front. There's a different configuration inside, so there is actually a front and a back. I would imagine the best sound comes from the front. That would seem reasonable, wouldn't it? And we plug the 404 in. That just goes in the USB slot. And load up the software. Let's just get rid of that. And load up the software. Go back to a project I've already started because it saves messing about. We'll enable track 1 and enable recording. So in theory all I've got to do is plug this in and press record, and we should get noise. So get the end, because excuse me being in my dressing gown, but I've still got to tart myself up for tonight yet, so no point in getting dressed beforehand. I only had to get undressed again, wouldn't I? Right, so that goes in there. 1, 2. Right, I've got a green light showing that there's a signal, and you probably can't see it. Oh, let's pick the flipping camera up. On the screen in the software, if you look at the track 1, yeah, you can see as I speak there's a green signal, so that means that the signal's actually getting through to the software. So in theory, if I hit the record button, we should get something that we can play back. So if I hit the record button like that, what we should get now is whatever I say from this point should be recorded. Now this is raw sound, don't forget, this is not played about with. I mean, you can add depth, you can add reverb, you can do all that sort of thing in the software. You don't have to muck about. The microphone's job is to just pick up the purest sound possible. So if we stop that now, take it back to the beginning, I've got my output set to the speakers, my theatre sound. So if I switch that to play, we should hear what I've just said. What we should get now is whatever I say from this point should be recorded. Now this is raw sound, don't forget, this is not played about with. I mean, you can add depth, you can add reverb, you can do all that sort of thing in the software. You don't have to muck about. The microphone's job is to just pick up the purest sound possible. So if we stop that now. Right. Back to the real sound now. This is me now, rather than recorded. I'm quite happy with that, because without playing about with that sound at all, that was a lovely crisp sound. I don't know how well, obviously that's playing through my speakers on the laptop and then being recorded by the camera using its microphones. So obviously there's going to be some change in sound. But anyway, the microphone works. That means I can now record voice and the acoustic guitar. I already know the guitar, the drums and the bass work. Those are all the parts I've got. So I've got no watering to do today. I may this afternoon try and put a very short piece together and multi-track all those component parts and see if I can get something out the other end that is playable. That also I'm prepared for somebody else to hear, because don't forget, for you to hear this I've got to put it on YouTube, haven't I? And if it goes on YouTube, the world can hear it. So we don't want it to be absolutely crass, do we? We do need a little bit of professionalism there. But the beauty of this is, once you've laid down a couple of tracks, if you try and put down another track and you get it wrong, you just re-record that bit. You don't have to do the whole thing again, just the bit you got wrong. So we may have a play, but at least I now know the component parts all work. So that's all it was. It was the lead. And basically the lead they gave me with the microphone was a lousy choice for a lead for a microphone that needs phantom power. because it needs the proper XLR connections to actually get the feedback power onto the microphone, and those silly little, you know, tiny little jacks are not really the job. Anyway, sorted, problem over. Yay! Love it when a plan comes together.